Mr. and Mrs Ohshiro, international distributors from around the world, Singapore distributors, staff of Enagic family. First of all, I must thank my Father God, Lord Jesus, for handling business. I also thank Mr. and Mrs Ohshiro for bringing Kangen to the world that benefit all of us in terms of true health, that is physical, financial, and mental health. When Miss Angeline Song first approached me to share on the compassionate side of Enagic, I readily said yes, because I feel it gives me the opportunity to personally thank Mrs. and Ohshiro for their kind heart. Yeah. They have actually helped our family a lot. Yes. Thank you, Mr. First, I'll talk a little bit insurance background. A top sales insurance man. And he was in more than 10 years, and he was in the $1 million round table every year consecutively. But he told me one thing. He said, because our company did not have the agency system. Agency system means that an agent who has several years of experience, they will be promoted as agency managers. So as an agency manager, they can recruit agents, and then they can override the sales commission. So he told me that he probably had to carry with a briefcase for the rest of his life, which means to sell insurance individually. But in 1999, a friend introduced him to the first direct selling marketing company. He saw the power of leveraging even more the system. Like what Paul Getty said, I would rather have 100 salesmen give me $1 a day than I myself earn $100. So initially, the first company seemed very promising. Distributors were buying products of intrinsic value, and of course it was also therapeutic. So a few years it was really good. But after a few years, the company started to change strategy. And that was, he told the leaders to look for potential investors to buy a position in the company. Obviously, that way, products will not be moved, and at the same time, they will be stuck with the products. So this is very unethical. And through the pressure, under pressure, he resigned. The second direct selling company he went into was so-called claim that they were for the little people. And of course, there were also, the income wasn't very good, and there was a lot of problems there because of the monthly maintenance, the auto ship policies, and a lot of customers were complaining when they forgot to purchase for that month. They have their money deducted from the bank, and then the product shipped right to their home. So they had a lot of complaints, and there was also a lot of follow-up to do. So a lot of hard work. But the worst was, after a few years, the company revised their compensation plan. So much so that our income margin dropped tremendously. So we tried to talk to the management to look into this issue, but they were not open to it. So disheartened, he gave up. He joined Enagic in August 2011, and he worked really hard. So by November of 2014, he was promoted to 682-3. Yes. He loved Kangen so much, and he was traveling extensively around the region, promoting Kangen and also giving trainings to his group. But unfortunately, in March of 2015, he met with an accident. He was knocked down by a car in Kuala Lumpur and was hospitalized. 2 major brain surgeries followed, and he was in hospital for 16 days. After he was discharged, he went back to Singapore. He was warded for another 2.5 months. But I really thank God for Kangen, because for the last 2.5 years, I was able to be by my husband's side. And moreover, we were able to afford a full-time caregiver for him and a domestic helper. And we bought home equipment for him for his everyday use, and also good supplements. But most importantly is we have a peace of mind that Kangen income is still coming in. The wonderful part of this business is, although he has been out of action for the last 2.5 years, because of the beautiful business model and his hard-working team carry on producing, that in September this year, he was promoted to 684-4. Wow! This could never happen if he was still in the insurance industry. We will be in dire state. Yeah. So we are really thankful because of this Mr. Ohshiro's compassion, his love for people, and this beautiful business that he has this compassion that he rewards his distributors well, and not only well but pay them properly, because he understands that distributors need the income for their daily lives or maybe to carry on business. So he pays almost daily. So this, I mean, unlike most of the other direct selling companies, they don't pay you daily, they pay you monthly. And in Enagic, there is no auto ship, no maintenance, no stocking of products. It's a wonderful business. Okay, I would like to share my personal experience with Mr. Ohshiro. The first time was during, let me see. Okay, when he was admitted to hospital in Kuala Lumpur, Miss Akimi, then branch manager, flew into KL to lend support to my family. So every morning she would have breakfast with me. And every morning without fail, Mr. Ohshiro will telephone from Japan to her and ask how is he, how is his condition, every single morning. And I would feel very comforted and warm because being a CEO, so hectic in his schedule, but every morning during breakfast time, 8+ he would call. And he would talk at length with Mr. Kenny. And I was really, really very thankful. So when we came back to Singapore, Mr. Kenny, then Mr. Shiroma, and then Mr. Masuhashi, and Ken would from time to time come to my home with gifts, to visit Raymond, and also to bring messages from Mr. Ohshiro inquiring after him. So I'm really thankful for that. And the next experience I had with him, personal experience, was in December last year, 23rd of December. Our Singapore office organized a recognition night, an award for 6A and above meeting as a dinner. So Mr. Ohshiro, on hearing of our celebration, he diverted his plans. He, instead of flying from Hong Kong back to Japan, he made a detour and came to visit us in Singapore, and he gave us a surprise. And we were so surprised. He came in with Mr. and Mrs. Ohshiro, came in the Santa Claus outfit, and ringing a bell, and we were all so delighted. We were also, honored. Then Mr. Ohshiro made a short speech. He said that he had very busy. He has not forgotten Chinese Singapore, and that he will is planning a convention in Singapore. So here we are tonight. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Ohshiro, for keeping your promise. But the most touching part of it was, after his speech, he left the room. Mr. Masuhashi came into the room and ushered me out to the reception. And Mr. Ohshiro in person told me that he was saddened by Raymond's accident. He was very concerned about his health, and that he wanted to come to visit Raymond, but he just couldn't have the time. He then passed me an envelope containing some cash, and he said that it's for Raymond. I felt such overwhelming sense of gratitude that words cannot explain. So the next day, I immediately contacted Mr. Ohshiro and I said, I want to send a personal email to Mr. Ohshiro to thank him for all the kindness. And I did. The third experience was just recently, in October last month. It was John and it was the Malaysia Enagic 5th anniversary. Yeah, and John and June, they were on stage receiving their award, stage 4 and stage 5. And on stage, John mentioned that I was present. Then Mr. Ohshiro immediately called me up the stage to take a group photo. I am full of admiration and utmost respect for our CEO. He's so compassionate, he's so caring and loving, and so kind and generous. He has no airs about him whatsoever. And you know, he respects anyone, every one of us, regardless of our status, regardless of our rank or stature. I salute Mr. Ohshiro. I'm really thankful. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs Ohshiro, for bringing London and make this place, this us, a better place to live. And finally, I really like to thank our Father God for the blessings that London has brought upon us, and the healing that He has done for Raymond. Because before the surgery, the surgeon told me that there was only 1% chance of Raymond surviving if we were to operate on him. So I'm really thankful that he's now able to eat, and I believe by the grace of God, in His timing, that Raymond will speak and walk again and will stop. Amen. Glory to God.